What is up, my beautiful, amazing listeners? How are you guys doing today? Welcome to an extra sip. I'm your host, Miriam Samaki, and hello, and welcome to the first Tea Tuesday of April. Guys, are we excited? That sounded so, how do you say it? What's the word? Sarcastic? That sounded so sarcastic, but I realized that's just the type of person I am. A lot of times people are like, oh, are you mad? Are you upset? Is this sarcastic? Do you mean this? And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that I was a bitch. Like, thank you for letting me know. But honestly, I don't know. I just think I deadpan a lot of things because I think it's funny, personally. But, you know, if you actually talk to me and, like, get to know me, you would know that I am a peach and a snowflake and the happiest fairy. So, again, that sounded sarcastic. I'm just gonna stop, guys. But how are y'all? Guys, I am so excited that it's April. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Why? Because well, for me personally, I am only 1 month away from being done with this semester. I'm almost done with this year. Guys, I'm gonna be a senior soon. Like, holy fuck, dude. Like, oh my god, dude. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. This summer, I have big things coming. Your girl's turning 20 fun. I was actually talking to a friend about what I should do. Also, hello, I'll be in DC for my entire summer internship, so hit me up. Concerts, the Palazzo thing, I don't know. But I know that there are concerts, and, you know, always I go back to Ghana for summer. And this time I'll be in DC, so hit me up, please. I'll be alone in an apartment, hopefully, if I can find one. I need to get on my shit. But yeah, so I'm turning 20 fun. That's going to be awesome for me. I'm going to have this amazing internship, going to get money because I am just struggling, and I'll get into that. But yeah, I just think good things are coming. I just need to get through the rest of this semester. And honestly, I feel good. I feel good. I actually woke up today. So I'm recording this on a Monday. I don't know why I keep playing. Well, I do know why I played myself yesterday, because usually I record on Sunday, and again, we'll get to that, but I keep playing myself, and then I have to record on a Monday, and then that's why sometimes the episodes go up late on Tuesday. I don't know, but they do go up. So if you're subscribed, hello, you would know. You would get a little notification. It'll automatically download. Girl, you don't even need internet, honey boo boo, and you can listen anytime to your favorite podcast, An Extra Sip, by yours truly, Miriam Samaki. Now, guys, do I get into what happened this weekend? Do I get into it? I think so, yes, ma'am. Now, this weekend was absolutely spectacular. Spectacular, amazing, wonderful, beautiful. There was only one bullshit that happened that had to ruin everything, but we'll get into it, folks. We'll get into it. Now, let me just say that it was formal season at my campus. So if you're in a sorority or a fraternity, then most likely you have a formal event, like a dance, like a homecoming type of situation, like a prom. And it's just cute because I personally had the worst dances, formals experiences. Just to name a few. No one told me that my fucking hair was a disgrace on one of my formals, so we tried to do a perm look, which, you know, black girls, if y'all listening, when you relax your hair and you get burns on your scalp to which, like, there are scabs forming because it's bleeding, that's great. Another experience, no one wanted to fucking dance with me because all my friends were running around trying to tell boys that they liked them, so I was just standing off to the corner because I love dancing, so I was standing off to the side alone. Another situation, can't forget my senior formal, or my senior prom, where I think I already talked about this, but my mom actually talked to her friend and forced their son to take me to prom. And so my best friend, my senior year of college, and I both had these random prom dates that we didn't really know, but we just wanted to bring dates because everyone was bringing a date. And so we were just standing off to the side and everyone was just looking at us like, who is that? Like, whom did you bring? Do they even go to the school? And then, of course, rain happened. Some roofs in Ghana are not the best. My whole prom floor flooded. My dress ruined because, it's a floor-length dress. And yeah, that was great. And so, I just haven't had the best luck. That's why I was so excited about this formal, this go-around. I'm just sad that, certain situations had to happen. So let's get into it. Now, OG listeners, you already know that my babe and I, my best friend that is sometimes on this podcast, who I was supposed to have on this podcast, but because I'm recording this on a Monday, I was unable to get her. It's fine. Y'all love listening to me, right? So you guys will know we fucking love tennis. And we thought, because, situations, just, is this going to be our last formal? Who's to say? So we were like, if this is our last formal, we need to go out with a bang. And so we were like, girl, let's DM all of the tennis players and invite them to our formal. And can I just say, it was the most iconic invitation ever. So you guys know those, what are they? Like the thirst chain messages where, can I even say this on like the podcast? But y'all know where it's like, ho, ho, ho's, like it's December, like let's get, F down, stuff like that. Wild stuff like that. So that's what my babe and I did. And we sent them to each of the players. We used their names and we had them be, what's the word? Oh my God, what is the word? We had them be like puns, And so, for example, I'll use one like Michael is one of the players' names. So we'll be like, you need to be dressed to impress like Michelangelo. And like, it was just so funny. Oh my God. It was so funny. And so we sent that to all of them and we sat pleased with ourselves waiting for responses. And it just got so much good feedback. They were like, a few of them were like, oh my God, this is so cute. Like, I'll talk to the boys. Like, we'll figure it out. And so my babe and I were ready. We were like fucking in it to win it. And slowly but surely we got responses. We got like 4 people who said they were coming. During the whole like, I don't even know how to tell the story. So, okay. So we were getting responses, right? And everything was going great. But then the week of the formal, one of the players who is my personal favorite, he already knows that he's my favorite and I love him so much. He's iconic. He told me that he couldn't come anymore because his sister was surprising him, which so cute. Like, he hasn't seen his sister in a long time, which, family's important. So have I talked about this? I feel like I talked about this. I don't know, but who cares? I'ma just say it anyways, dude. And so he said that he could no longer come, so we were down to 3, and then another one joined on. Someone said that they might come, so we were up to 5. So, just different things changing, and so my friend and I, we have to fill out a document of people who are coming and write down the times, and of course, we aren't sure who's coming, so it's just funny. In the document, we were writing TBD tennis player, and we were messaging all of our sisters and we're like, hey, we see that you don't have anyone next to you. Are you bringing anyone? No? Hey, can we use your spot? We were finessing. Cardi B finesse. Play the song. And like, usually you're all supposed to be signed up for the same time, like 8:20, but we had people signed up for the 8 o'clock. We had people signed up for the 9 o'clock time. People weren't understanding, like, oh, wait, like, are they coming with someone else? Like, no, they're coming with us. This is just how we have to Bruno Mars finesse. And so it was a wild experience, but we had to do what we had to do because this was going to be the most iconic thing to ever happen to the College of William and Mary since 1963, 1693. There we go. And so, yes, my fave was not able to come, but I was so happy that all of these others are going to play. And then, so the day of the let me get into that. So the day of the formal, they had a tennis game. And so I was like, well, you support me, I support you, honey boo boo. So I was like, well, let me obviously go to this game. My friend told me that she couldn't come because she had something to attend to. And I was like, ooh, I didn't know that. And so I was just preparing myself to go alone, which stressed me out. Like, Okay, let me just paint the picture, guys. When I go to any sporting event, anything where I can cheer, applaud, wear glitter, wear tutus, anything of that nature, I'm gonna be the loudest one in that building. Like, don't test me, don't try me, hun. Don't try me. I will be louder than you and your mother and your friend and your dog and your sister. Like, I'm gonna be louder than you. And so I love doing it. I'm so confident doing it because, like, every time I do it, people just look back at me and they're like, most of the time it's like smiles and everything. Oh, you know what? Let me bookmark this because, like, keep in mind that I said most of the time. And so it's always just such a positive experience, but it's because I'm with someone I'm comfortable with. And I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what that is. So if I'm with you and I'm like cheering loudly, then props to you because I'm comfortable with you, you know? I don't know. I like, even if that person's not screaming, yelling, of course, my friend, she's yelling with me just as loud. But even if that other person's not yelling, I just feel comfortable. Like, I think it's that comfort of knowing that person's not going to judge you and you're free to just be yourself and it's a welcoming experience, you know? Because I'm just in certain organizations where people just don't make me feel welcomed or appreciated. And so, you know, it's nice to have people who do. Thanks, Sips Tea on that one. So my friend said she wasn't going to be able to come. And I was just freaking out. But I was like, okay, well, I can't just not go because they are going to play this, you know, like I always say, these 3-hour matches. And tennis is hard, dude. And so I was like, well, I have to go. So I was getting ready. I look cute, I will say. I feel like I look so cute. I had my little school shirt. I had these ripped jeans that I bought at Papaya. At the same time, I was buying my formal dress, which I'll get into her. And they were so cute. I had on they're like flip-flops, but they're designer flip-flops. They're not just like the thong flip-flops that these boys wear around campus, and that's why they're always sick. These are like a nice quality and they're beaded, like handmade from Ghana, and so they're so cute. Had my yellow school hat. Like, I look cute, guys. I look cute. I would have done glitter and a tutu. Not tutu, hello. I would have done glitter and a tattoo, but of course I had to get ready for formal, so I was like, let me not even do this. Because every time I wear glitter, it is such a long time to get it off. Like, I love glitter. Glitter and we're best friends. We're two peas in a pod. But just getting off is my worst nightmare. And so I walked myself to my little dining hall. I got myself some breakfast. I actually wasn't hungry. I don't know. Usually when I'm excited, I don't eat. I don't know what that's about. But I had Frosty Flakes and I just was not feeling it. I think it's because I've been eating a lot of Captain Crunch, the berries one. And so just when I try to get into a new one, I'm like, ew, bitch, disgusting. But I don't know. I love Frosty Flakes. What's your favorite cereal? Let me know. Let me know. Hit me up. Let me know. And so, y'all, the whole time I was walking to this game, I was freaking out. I was like, I am not comfortable at all. Like, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I just don't know what is going to happen. Because I never know. I never know what's going to happen. And of course, the players too, I still at that point on edge. Like, do they even like it? Am I allowed to be this loud? Even though I know for a fact I am. And I know these dumb referees are going to say something, which, hello, bookmark. Y'all, I realize I've said bookmark a lot of times, and I think I've forgotten a lot of the things. But hopefully I remember, and we'll get into it. So I made it to the game, right? And as soon as I get there, I have my glasses on too, and I have, oh no, I don't have a coffee this time, but I'm just walking in with my glasses, bumping to my music because that's what makes me confident. And as soon as I get there, the parents are like, oh, it's nice to see you. Hello, nice to see you again. And I'm like, oh, so already, all positive vibes. And they were like, where's your partner in crime? Where's the other one? And that was super nice, you know, because, you know, my girl and I were a package deal. You see me, the other one, like, she's a creature. You see me, my girl is right behind me, not far behind me. Literally, I was in a dining hall once and someone came up to me and they're like, the first thing they said to me was, oh, where's Julia? And I was like, first off, can you say hi to me? Second off, she's behind me. You know, like, we're a package deal. And so everyone was asking about her, which was really cute. And so I was like, okay, I can do this. I got this. Miriam, we got this. And it was a hot day. It was a beautiful day. It was honestly very hot. So I was looking at my jeans and I was like, might have made a mistake in these, might have made a quick little mistake, but it's all right. The game started and I started cheering, I started yelling, being my loud self. I will say it was so cute because, I don't even know when the sequence of events happened, but a lot of the boys were just like standing around cheering on a doubles match that was happening. And so I screamed for the players, and one of them turned around and was like, "Hey, go Miriam Samaki." And I was like, "Oh, this is just so nice." Like, it's just nice to know that I'm a part of that family. Oh, I hit the mic. Oh my God, I'm sorry. But it is so nice to know that I'm a part of that family because, my girl and I have been here since, like, it's been, when has it been since? Oh my God, I can't even remember. Oh, has it been a year and a half? I always forget, but it's been a while. And so it's nice to just be appreciated and to know that what I'm doing is correct. And so everything was going well. But then I don't know. I don't think it was like a panic attack or anything like that, but I just felt a sudden like discomfort and I didn't feel at ease. Like, I don't know. And so I went to go to the other courts to hide a little bit and to just like talk to myself and be like, it's fine. But then as I was talking, I look over and two players from the other team are just walking towards me. And for some reason, I just can't look away. I'm just staring at them and they're just looking at me. And I'm like, oh my God, Miriam, can you look away? Like, you look so awkward. Like, what is happening to you? But I just couldn't stop looking at them. And they just like kept like looking at me like, the fuck? Like, what is she doing over here alone? And so that happened and I was freaking out. Like, I really don't know what happened. I think that because, so at these games, you're not allowed to scream at certain points. Like, of course, when the other player is serving, when a rally is happening, you can't just scream, and I know that now. And so I have to wait until one of the players makes a point, but there's also 3 games happening at the same time. So it really is a matter of watching and making sure that you know when to scream. And sometimes I'm not allowed to cheer for a long time. And after being silent for such a long time and then coming back, it's just so uncomfortable and I hate it. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I think that's really what brought about me feeling uncomfortable. I don't know. I really don't know. But it just was a weird feeling and I hated it. And so the singles match happened and I prefer those a lot better because it's 6 players at a time. And sometimes like no one is cheering on a certain court. And so I can go there and just, kind of just like look at them eye to eye and just vibe and be like, hey, you got it. Like, this is all you. And it's just like a cute experience. And so I felt better. But then tragedy started to happen. Okay, so one of the players that was supposed to come to the formal, which, mind you, I hope y'all remember, so the game started at noon, right? And the formal was at 8, but we were going to do photos at 6:30. This game I was estimating to be finished at around 3 or so because, tennis matches are 3 hours long. And so the formal was that night. And I look over at one of the players and he is throwing up into a trash can. And I'm like, oh my God, my poor baby, because he is the cutest. Just a little tidbit. I think at an earlier game, my girl and I, we were cheering and he was cheering on one side and a different player was cheering on another side. So we were sandwiched in by players and it was so cute. And he said something like, oh, the score is this. And I look at him and I'm like, oh, what does that mean? And so he said it again. And I just look at him with the most confused look. And then he fucking giggles and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life, in my world. Oh my God, I'm dying at the cuteness. So he's just the sweetest baby. And so he's just like very ill, like into this trash can. And I don't even care about the formal at this point. Like, I don't, like, that's not what was on my mind at all. I'm just like, oh my God, like, I hope he feels okay. And so that was worrisome. They did call his match after one set, because he was severely ill, but he was walking around, and everything was okay. And just to fast forward a little bit, he messaged me the sweetest message, like, hey, I'm sorry to cancel last minute, but I have not been able to stop throwing up, like, since the game. Like, I can't come. And I'm like, babe, you're so fine. Get well soon. Like, it was so fine, you know? It was so fine. And then, so that was one thing that happened. The second thing that happened was my photographer that we hired said that they could no longer shoot for us, and I was freaking out, of course. Why? This photographer goes to my school, and they are the best photographer I've ever seen in my life. Like, honestly, iconic. They make you look stunning, beautiful. They know how to just make you shine and just shine bright like a diamond. Beyonce, play it. Period. Like, so good. And so when they said they could no longer shoot for us, I was like, oh my God. And, you know, of course it was a serious matter. They were like, I'm so sorry. I would not do this if it wasn't serious. And I was like, no, of course, I completely understand. And so I'm texting my girl and I was like, hey, we have a problem. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. What are we going to do? Formal is in this many hours. What am I supposed to do? And my messages just were not delivering. And, you know, my girl, her phone is always dead. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm crying. Like, guys, I was double fisting. I was like texting my girl, DMing many photographers. I was put in a group chat because one photographer I DM'd was like, hey, I can't do it. And so they put me in a group chat. I was cheering on my players, like not even looking up. I was just like looking down, like trying to do all of this and just like freaking out internally. Julia finally calls me. I step out and I'm just like, I wanna die. And she's like, no, it's so fine. Like, we're gonna like, and you know, I love coming to her because she just makes me feel comfortable, you know, like she's able to calm me down. And I think that we really work well together, and that if she's freaking out, I'm able to like, hey, let's take it one step at a time, babe, you got it. If I'm freaking out, she does the same thing, you know. And there are times where, of course, we're both riled up, and like that's also funny because we're both just like catapulting ourselves and just like doing 0 to 100 real quick, or we'll both zen the fuck out and we're like, this just happened, but honestly I couldn't care less, you know. Like, we just work so well together and I love our dynamic. And so she was just helping me, making me feel calm. And so I'm still on the phone and I walk back to cheer on my player after we've finished all that. And here is number 3 of situations that happened. But so the first one, sad, right? Sad because my player throwing up. Second one, brought up a lot of anxiety, fear, I would say. Third one made me fucking pissed. Now, since the beginning of when we have cheered at tennis games, mind you, we've been at many tennis games, there has never been a game where Julia and I have not been yelled at / rebuked by a referee. Let me repeat that. There has never been a time where we have not been yelled at by a referee. Now, you would think that since it's the same referees, they would, oh, you know what? Okay. Oof. So this might be taking us somewhere, but you know what? I'm gonna take us there. Let me just say this. So in my class, I'm in a class called Comparative Race Relations, and we were going over racial caste systems that exist in the United States. Now, from the beginning, of course, you had slavery, which I don't need to define slavery, but as you already know, Middle Passage, Africans being taken forcibly and moved to the Caribbean and the United States to work and, you know, build up the United States and the economic system, because the United States was built on the backs of slaves. Thank you. After that, once they were like, oh, slavery is no longer a thing, and like, you know, we don't have slavery anymore, we went into the period of Reconstruction and the Jim Crow era. And during that period, you know, blacks were able to get civil rights. We had different amendments granting them all of these freedoms. We had the Freedmen's Bureau. We had federal troops protecting them. And yet these white conservatives, these Southern conservatives, were like, no, let's take 8 million steps backwards. So we're going to institute Jim Crow. We're going to remove the funding for Freedmen's Bureau. We're going to have taxes and all of these tests that you have to take to vote. You're going to have the 13th Amendment. Yes, but that makes you a slave of the state if you are considered a criminal. And so many acts were criminalized. After that, of course, we get into the civil rights movement. And of course, you had all these activists which were like, bitch, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Period. period. And so we're going to rise up, rise above. They say to stand down, but we stand up. Glory by John Legend. Play it. But of course, when you have that, you go into what we have today, which is mass incarceration, which is the which is the overrepresentation of African Americans, primarily Black men, in these prison systems. And how that came about? Well, of course, it came about with the leaders of this country, with certain presidents, I believe Reagan, Nixon, and of course, Bill Clinton, you ain't slick. With the war on crime, the war on drugs, the war on poverty, with welfare queens and people that are undeserving. And so, first off, can I just say, for someone who thinks that they're fucking stupid and just is not confident in their knowledge and their academic abilities, I sounded pretty smart there, and I'm really proud of myself, and that's all I want to say. So please be proud of me. Thank you. But why I'm bringing that up, and okay, look, like I'm saying, get me a step stool because I might be reaching. Enroll me in the Olympics because I may be triple jumping. But it is just very similar how many times older people or people just who continue to have this rhetoric, because also in that class we learned that this idea of Black inferiority, I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, and white supremacy, it's almost like a religion where you just can't stop believing in it. And so it's just amazing how at each of these games, these referees just think of new ways to suppress Julie and I. For example, on one hand, they were like, stop, you can't be that loud and you can't scream at these matches. When we have revolutionized the entire system of tennis in that every time that you go to these matches, people are screaming. Why? That's because of us. And tell me why a referee was like, hey, I looked in the rule book and there's nothing about saying that you can't scream as loud as you can. And so I apologize for that. So I love how we just made up rules because you don't want us to be loud. Is it you don't want people to be loud at all, or you don't want us, two Black women who are the only Black people watching this game, to yell? Hi, thank you. And you know, it really is just about being uncomfortable in these public spaces, like just being a minority. Like they just continue, as you know who they are, but they just continue to find ways to suppress us. So that was one. Another one, oh hey, you can't wave these, you already guys know because I was very heated about this, but you can't wave these pom-poms when another player is serving. Bitch, we never did that. Why would we do that? Like, if someone's serving, that means nothing had happened, so why would we be serving at all? Also, to be very aggressive in threats and saying that, not giving a warning, but saying, I will take a point from your team. Sir, like, this is absolutely absurd. And then what happened this weekend when I was on the phone talking to my friend, him walking over to me and being like, if you want to make a phone call, you have to go into this little hut. You're being too loud. And I was like, okay. He was like, these players are trying to play. I was like, okay. And he was like, you need to stop. And I was like, wow. Like, this is so disrespectful. And then I need to step back because I'm going to be loud. Tell me the fuck why. Not even 5 minutes later, a boy's on his phone, talking on the phone, exactly where I was standing. Nobody says a damn thing. No one says a thing. What does that show? What, like, am I leaping at this point? Am I leaping? Why is it always Black voices just being silenced and just Black people being suppressed? And it really is that rhetoric of, oh, you're just aggressive, you're just loud, and just all of these stereotypes that we refuse to get rid of. Like, I really don't think I'm jumping at this point. I honestly, truly, honestly don't. I really don't. And then also what just fucked me up more than I can know, more than you know, play it. What fucked me up the most without consent. Tell me why. So, oh my God. So, literally the last game, it was my babe, my little husband. He is playing the last, if he wins this match, then he wins the whole, the school wins the whole thing. So, everyone was cheering, like the other school was doing chants, our school was doing chants. Like, it was such an amazing experience to witness because, like, we contributed to that. I will say it. We contributed to that because there has never been that much cheering before, but because of Julia and I, this is the new system and I absolutely love it. Tell me why this fucking referee who has continuously scolded Julia and I for yelling, for being too loud, for applauding, for cheering, for waving our pom-poms, all of this. Tell me why he turns to another referee and he was like, oh, I love seeing how much spirit there is at these games. I just love the spirit. Bitch, are you... Okay, at this point, I feel like I'm being so loud that this soundproof room can't even... Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that is such an insult. And I turn around and I give him the death glare. Like, honestly, oh my God. It just made me feel like nothing. It really just made me feel like trash. Like, it really is these... And you know what they say? Implicit racism. It is there. And to them, it's just nothing. When, oh, it is. Like, there is definitely something going on here. It's racism. It has to be. And so, oh my God. I will say, though, like, his fucking ass aside, just cheering on my babe was, my babe, obviously, my husband, the player that is my favorite. I love him so much because he was, like, not winning. And so I was stressed for him. And he was, like, just being, like, I don't know. You know how you just get very frustrated and you just, like, hang your head and you're just, like, talking down to yourself and stuff like that. And I just feel like we had a moment and I'm just looking at him and I'm like, babe, like, you got it. Like, you have got this. And something that Julie and I, like, a new thing that we love saying is, like, I don't know why you're stressed because you got this. You have this. Take what's yours. Like, it's yours. Take what's yours. So, like, I love that so much. And at least, I was able to cheer on him for that. And I don't, look, the best thing that you could do when faced with racism in this country, in this society, in this economy, under this administration, is to just never, like, settle down. Never settle down. Keep going, keep fighting, because as a human being, you have these rights. And just don't let your voice be silenced. You deserve to speak, period. And I can't believe I spent that much time talking about that when... Okay, well, I can speed up this next part, because this next part is really what got me. I just was so heated about that, and I guess I just forgot how mad I would be about that. Sorry, but also it's important, so y'all need to know. So yeah. After the game, I ran to find Julia, and we went on Google, and we were like, photographers in Williamsburg, because we still weren't able to find a photographer. And we found someone, called him up. We were like, hey, sorry, this is last minute, but are you able to take pictures of my friends and I? And he was like, yeah, I'm able to do so. It's going to be $120. Keep in mind, my amazing photographer was going to do them for $30. But I looked at Julia and she was like, just say yes. Like, at this point, we just don't have options. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And so we scheduled a time. We were going to do it. My babe and I, we got home. We started getting ready. Guys, the dress I was wearing made me look like a fucking goddess. And keep in mind, when I do my makeup, I always do a baby wing. The wing that I did, this eyeliner wing that I did, I was going to take flight. Delta, KLM, Emirates. I was taking flight. There's no Spirit up in this bitch. I was Delta, KLM. And I was looking so good. This eye look I did, it was so blended. I put on, this Victoria's Secret, like, glitter, like, shimmer glow on my body. Like, this melanin was popping. I was looking like a black African princess, goddess, young. I was just looking so good, and I'm allowed to say this because it's about me. I was just looking like a really rich chocolate bar, like Godiva, like Belgium chocolate. I was looking good. I had, well, let me just get into this dress. She's a black moment. It is a deep V, so these titties are out, these boobs are out and are craving, like they're out and ready to play. Not wearing a bra because the back is an X, and so the back was out. I was just looking amazing, and I come downstairs. Julia, my wife, my angel, my world, my pride, my tried and true, She has this beautiful long black gown with a fucking train. Her eyeliner, she always like has this wing that's taking flight, but wow, when I tell you she is the pilot and I am the, I'm the hostess. I cannot compare to her beauty. She's looking like an angel. And I'm like, girl, are you ready for these photos? Needless to say, these photos were not ready for us. And that's really what I'm pissed about right now because, so we're taking these photos. Our boys come, they are looking dapper. Like, they look so fucking cute. Oh my God, they're dressed up. Because obviously, we've only seen them in their tennis uniforms. And so they're out here in these, like, they just look so good. And I'm just, like, crying to myself, like, oh my God, look at my dates. Look at my dates. And I'm just so pissed that I have not uploaded on my Instagram yet, and I'm not going to because these photos were atrocious. Atrocious. He said that he was going to capture them on Square. Well, he was like, what are you going to use these photos for? And we were like, well, we want to use them for Instagram. So he was like, Square? Okay. Let me repeat. He was like, Square? Okay. And so we started taking these photos. Oh my God. And at this point, we don't know the quality because he's just taking them and, like, we can only see the little square on the camera. But just the poses we were doing, there was, like, a flower bed and we were, like, Julie and I were at one end and he was, like, at the other. And so all you could see was fucking flowers, not even us. He took, like, an overhead shot. So the sky, though, all white. It's not even blue at all. Julia looks like a white girl. She looks like a Britney. And I'm like, I love how you can't capture black beauty. Like, you're not even seeing my babe at all. She looks white. She's so whitewashed. I'm looking light as hell. And I'm like, first, I'm so dark chocolate. Like, what is happening? As soon as our boys come, he has them kneel on the ground like they're fucking prisoners. I don't even know. Just like one behind each other. The two in the back are there's four of them. So the two in the back are just blurry. There's a man sitting, trying to have like his brunch. You see him in the photo. Someone over in this corner, like, not someone, sorry. There's a trash can in this corner. Like, it's so bad. And then when he sends me the photos, oh my fucking God. So they look so bad, right? And I realized, I can't post any of these bitches on Instagram. And then I was like, hey, none of these are square. I need you to... I sent him the most frustrating... Like, should I just read it? Girl, I'm gonna read it, period. I'm gonna read it, period. Hold on. Sorry. I was like, hey, so I reviewed the photos and I'm sad to say that I'm displeased. None of the photos are on Square and so they are not able to be posted on Instagram. Next, there are people with trash cans and people walking in the background. Also, you sent us some photos where people were obviously cut out. We do not feel like the photos were worth the money that we spent. Let me remind you that, guys, they were $120. The photo attached was by a photographer who was going to shoot us tonight, and they were only going to charge us $30. The photo speaks for itself. As a customer, I just felt like I needed to be honest with my experience. Thank you. And so they were like, thanks for the feedback. This is just a dump of everything. You can still choose 5 to edit, and I'll make it square. I sent them the numbers. I chose 8, and I was like, considering you said you would make them square, I want all 8 of these on Square. And also, what else did I say? Oh, and also, I don't fucking remember. But, so he sends them back. Tell me why he says, I can't make one of these square. Hello? He's like, I can't make one of them square. And y'all, okay. Oh, I'm like, oh my God. So, oh my God, I'm so pissed. So, I'm looking at these photos, right? I'm crying laughing. So after the formal, before he even sent me like the photos, I was crying because I was frustrated and I was like, he really ruined like our last formal potentially. Like he ruined our moment. The next day, I was crying out of laughter. Why? Making these photos square, he just like becomes a digital like animator, like a Photoshop pro, and like he shoots us in front of a sunset background. There is a sunset. Y'all, he photoshopped us where we are floating in midair on random bricks he put in. The photos look fucking disgusting. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I had my friend who has been accepted into Harvard Law School because she is that bitch. And she was like, girl, I got $2,000 back from a plane company. I'm gonna get you your money back. And so we were texting him back and forth, and he was like, I can refund you 20%. I can refund you 20% if you want to use the photos, or I can do 81% because I need you to pay for this transportation. And I'm just like, bitch, first off, you never told me I had to pay for your dumb Lyft or your Uber, so absolutely not. Second, the audacity that you have 20% for two photos that are kind of good, absolutely not. And so, actually, just while recording this episode, just now, he actually messaged me back, and because we've been fighting like all night, and I was like, I want my money back. He was like, I am going to do 81%. And so he's just going to give me this 96. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm done fighting with you. So that's what we're going to do. But y'all, they just look so bad. And so my real photographer who, you know, they had the issue, they were like, I'm so sorry. Like, I will shoot you for free if you can get the group back. And so they're just so nice. So watch my Instagram because y'all are gonna see these photos popping, because my girl and I really did look beautiful. Our boys were the cutest, and I just did want to capture that moment. And so yeah, I'm just happy that we're gonna be able to have them, because girl, let me tell you, I was shook to the core. And oh my god. So I do realize I focused on a lot of the bad, but to round out this episode, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to our tennis boys who came. Obviously, we support them so hard, and just coming to formal with us was just amazing. You know, we go out to support them because we honestly love tennis, and I just feel like I know them so much. Like, when we were eating dinner together, they were like, so are you guys juniors? Like, or so what year are you guys? Are you guys, like, what do you guys do? And it was just so, like, amazing how we know so much about them, obviously, because on the little sheet, it shows everything about, like, you know, the players, and things like that about them. And they just know nothing about us. And it was just so nice to have this heart to heart. We were geeking with each other at the formal. We did the cha-cha slide. We were moving and grooving. We hit the whoa. We hit the folks. Like, it was just the cutest night, and I did enjoy the experience. I'm just never gonna forget it. I'm never gonna forget it. And it just makes me so happy to just think back. I'm just pissed off at the photos, but that's all gonna be solved. I'm gonna take my $96 and run, never talk about him ever again, this photographer. And like, I'm just so happy that I got to do this with my boys. And let me just say that my husband, my everything, because he wasn't able to come to formal with me, he did say, let me know when the next one is. So y'all, fall formal when it is me and my mans. I'm all excited about it. I am pumped. And so, yeah, all in all, a good experience, a great experience. I just, woo! I am just shook. I am just shook at everything we had to go through that day. It really was the biggest day, from racism to being scammed, but then we danced the night away. So, yeah. On that note, I am gonna go. I have yelled, screamed, hollered, and shouted, but oh, I'm glad that you guys won't say that I'm being too loud. Why? Because you're not racist. So thank you so much. Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna go, guys. I need to go get a bagel and some cream cheese, or some bagels, some peanut butter and banana, y'all. I need to get out of here. Thank you, as always, for listening. I love you so much. This was beautiful to get off my chest, and I love speaking to you every Tuesday. All right, guys. Bye.